that attracted me to sit with him, this young man, for a talk. His blowing skills captured my attention to have a conversation with him. His passion for this noble work led me go a step ahead to have a chat with him. It is his uniqueness that developed an interest in me to convince him to share something with the world. This character, a character of playing with blowing pencils, ink and the paint, that sent me to sit down and listen to what he had. The capacity to bring imaginations to reality, an image in mind to a piece of white and colored paper. I had to ask, question, applause, criticize and encourage him at the same time. This is the time to know him. This is great, with a fine artist, a seminarian, a priest in making. May God's will be done. A Spiritan for that matter, a drawing priest in future. You can't afford to miss this great and big conversation. Welcome, listen to this wonderful life and you will enjoy it to the end. Thanks and God bless you. So I welcome you, brother, at this moment. At least you talk to the world, you talk to us. Good evening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome. And maybe you can do the introduction, you present yourself and tell us who you are, where you come from, where you are at the moment, what you are doing, what you are eating here, where is your family and things of the sort.
So, first and foremost, thank you very much for this chance, for giving me this chance to share my life with you. My name is Martin Kamau. I'm 28 years old, and I'm from Limuru, in part of Kiambu County, and actually I'm at home. I'm enjoying this time with this great friend of mine here at home. So, you're welcome.
Okay, maybe Martin, now that you have said you are called Martin, and you know we are doing this, we are recording this direct from his house, from his home. So I think I'm very lucky to have had this interview with you, this conversation with you.
Yes.
At your place.
Yes.
So that maybe you tell us where is Limuru, how is your family, maybe you narrate something about your family. You tell us more about your family.
You said you asked where is Limuru, okay?
Yes.
So I think one question at a time. So Limuru, Limuru is in central part of this country, and like I said, it is in Kiambu County. Okay.
Yes.
That is question number. Then about my family, I happen to be the last born in a family of 6, whereby it is a family of 3 gentlemen and 3 ladies. So I'm so proud. I'm a proud last born actually. Yes.
Maybe are your parents still alive?
My parents are still alive. They are healthy. We thank God. Yes.
Okay. So Martin, I wish you talk about something, because you know we meet people in life, and whenever we meet people of different characters, different personalities, different way of life, different thinking, and these people, they are always a gift to us. They are always present in our life, because we journey with them, they journey with us, they help us with different things. And I would wish, before we talk about maybe what I want to talk about,
yes,
what is the main agenda of this interview, I would like you to talk about your educational background.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. About my education background, it began in the year, back in the year 2000, in a small school just around, in Kamirithi Primary School. But of course later, I went to a different primary school in Limuru model. That was in the year 2007. Then in the year 2009, I did my KCPE as usual, and then I was called to still a nearby school in Limuru. It's called Ngenia High School, whereby I left there in the year 2013. That's when I left. Then after that, I joined college. I went to Limuru Institute of Information and Technology, whereby I went to do my graphic designing, because later I will share my story about my art, because I'm an artist, I'm a fine artist, so I went to do graphic designing so that I can be able to venture in the art industry. And you know, in this country you need papers, because I know they say that it is not about what you know, it is whom you know. But I believe even before you know that somebody, you need to show what you know.
Yes.
Okay? So I left Lit College. It is still in Limuru. I left in the year 2015. Then after that, I started working. I applied for a certain job in Westlands as a clerk and a messenger. Of course, I used my papers to get that job. So then I worked there for some few years, but later I still felt I still need to do something in fine art. You know, graphic designing is not the real fine art, whereby you use a pencil paint to paint and so forth. So I decided to go to Uganda. That was in the year 2018. I went to Uganda to further my studies. And so there I did fine art, whereby it's all about painting and so forth. And I stayed there for 2 years, and then I came back here in 2020. I think that has been
okay. Now that is the educational background, a very nice journey you have made in terms of academics. And now we want to look at this thing called the art.
Yes.
The drawing you normally do. You know you are a specialist in drawing.
Yes.
So how did you discover it, and when did you discover it?
Well, it has been a journey, a long journey, very long journey. It began when I was still very young, when I was in standard 2. That is when it began, because I used to see my brothers doing some art. So I used to desire what they were doing, and so I also felt that I also had that passion of art. So I just slowly started copying what they were doing, using my school books to draw when in class. Actually, I remember there's a time my teacher used to cane me over and over again because of drawing on the covers of every book. Okay? Then later, my big sister by the name Pauline, she used to get me some drawing books, and I would utilize this chance to draw over and over again. So I was just a very young boy, and I had a desire of becoming an architect. Okay. Then later, after my KCPE, after I left primary school, I went to high school. Okay. I did the same Form 1 and Form 2. But when I got to Form 3, I met some other friends who were much better than me, who were more qualified than me. So what happened? I started comparing myself with these people. So I kind of gave up with my art life, because I thought, if at all this is how I'm doing. Because back then, okay, my work used to be, I don't want to use the term poor, but it was not a qualified job. So I just gave up completely, and I had to concentrate with my studies. So Form 3, Form 4, I didn't do any artwork.
So in Form 3, after meeting these guys who are drawing better than you,
yes,
instead of being encouraged, you were discouraged.
I was discouraged.
By drawing.
Yes.
And now you felt inferior.
Yes.
You felt like you are very poor in drawing. You felt like you cannot do anything in drawing, so you better leave it. And later on, how did you pick it then, because you had already stopped?
Now, this is what happened after I did my KCSE in 2013, November 2013. The following year, I was very idle before joining college, okay? So this is the time I just decided I need to do something before I go to college or something, or I further my studies. So I say to myself, I got to do something. So that is when I just took a pencil and a book, and I began drawing out automatically because I think the skill was in me. So I began doing it automatically. So from there, I didn't give up. I continued with the same spirit. I remember I used to go online, check some great artists, the likes of Michelangelo, the likes of
Shamba himself,
the likes of Leonardo da Vinci. Those are the artists of the 15th century, 16th century.
They did not discourage you because the form force and form Christian discourage you.
Exactly.
But this one is they encourage you.
Yes. Now this time round, I'm much wiser. I'm older, so
I'm mature.
Exactly. There is an art quote that says that those who don't want to imitate anything do not produce anything. So I had to imitate what they were doing, and I used that to major in my skill. So now that is 2015, 2016, the same. So during this time, I was doing some commissioned art for people, and they used to give me a small commission and so forth. And so I continued with the same spirit. I started meeting some friends of mine who are also artists. So we used to help each other, used to share ideas. Now during this time I was only doing black and white, okay? Pencil work and so forth. Not until 2020 when I began using colored pencils to do some paintings. I was also selling, I remember I was selling an A3 size at around 4,000, 5,000, depending on the person. Okay.
So after this you will see me behind the camera, at least you give me one.
Behind the scenes, no problem. Okay. No problem. So I started making money slowly by slowly, though it's not easy, especially to market yourself in such places. Because most of the people here, they don't really appreciate art, okay? Like the urban areas, maybe Nairobi, Nakuru and so forth. So I continued with my journey, and as we speak, at least I can say when professional artists are called, at least I can stand up. Yes, so right now I can even do canvas, paintings on canvas. I can use acrylics. Currently I'm using acrylics. Those are water-based colors, brush and canvas. So that is what I do currently.
Okay.
Yes.
So how has been this journey? Because you have talked of one challenge. Are there any other challenges? Because you talked of people do not appreciate the talent, and that is true.
Yes.
People will never appreciate it, especially where you are born. People see it as something is wastage of time.
Yeah, sure.
Apart from this issue of appreciating your talent or any other talent in the village, are there any other challenges you have met as an artist?
Yeah, there are very many challenges in the art industry. And please allow me to talk about that challenge that you mentioned. I remember there's a time someone just got my number from a friend, and then he called me. He told me, I need an artist. I want you to do a certain picture or rather painting. And then so we started negotiating. She asked me, and how much are you going to charge? And I was like, the lowest price is 5,000. Do you know what she said? She was like, why don't I go to a studio and take a picture and pay 100 shillings and go home? So that was kind of discouraging, and bearing in mind that you're investing all your time, because actually coming up with a piece of art is not really a joke. It can even take a week, 2 weeks. Some artists even take 6 months and so forth, depending on the commissioning, on the commissioned art. So that is the first challenge. People don't really appreciate the skill that is being done. Okay, now then of course we have many other challenges, like the prices of the art materials. Okay, I'm talking about the art brushes, I'm talking about the acrylics, that is the paints, the canvas, the frames and so forth. They are very, very expensive, and you rarely find them. You don't just find them in any other place. You have to go to town. You have to go to Nairobi for you to get these paints. So in a place like Limuru town, these small towns, you rarely get quality art brushes, quality paints and so forth. Yes.
Okay. Now, Martin, sometimes I like writing.
Sure.
And if you asked me one thing I wrote and I felt like this is it, now I have to write. Every now and then I'll tell you maybe one thing I wrote and I felt like this is it. And out of all your drawings, maybe if I may just ask, what is this one drawing you made? And you drew and you said this is it and I will never stop it now?
Now I remember in Tanzania, there's a time I was in Tanzania, and there's a certain guy who gave me some job to paint his girlfriend. Okay.
Wow.
So actually I only used 1 week to do this painting. It was an A3 size. Okay. And this lady, of course, I was given a picture of this lady, and then I put her on canvas exactly as she was. Then on the day of delivery, they were the two of them, and so my client and his girlfriend. So what I did by yourself. Okay. So when I went to deliver the painting, they were the two of them. Okay. So I was very confident that I did my best. I had never done any other piece of art the way I did that. I invested my time and everything, because indeed, actually, the lady was so beautiful. Okay, that is a fact. So
you also saw it, the beauty.
Not only did I see it, I also put it on canvas.
I wanted to ask if you touched that. Okay.
Of course I did.
Okay.
Yes. And actually it came from here.
Okay.
And I put it on canvas. Okay. So on the day of delivery of the piece of art, I met the couple, and I had wrapped the painting, and so the guy told me, open the painting. So when the lady saw the painting, she started crying. She was so happy, and instead of hugging the
boyfriend,
she stood up, crying, and gave me a hug. So anyway, that is not the point. The point is, I think that is the best painting I've ever done in my life.
But I think the best is coming.
The best also is yet to come.
No, the best is coming. I think it is coming, because once you draw me, that will be the best. No, that one will be the best.
But of course, for you, I think I'll take time. Yeah?
Because I'm not that cheap, so you will have to take time. So there is this thing. I understand you're a student.
Yes.
And you are an artist.
Yes.
You draw things. You draw people, animals, and other different things. How do you manage? How do you balance the drawing and the studies?
Now you realize in the current school that I am in, actually, men out of topic.
No, it is still.
So you realize that in school it is not full-time academics. Okay.
Yes.
Of course, you only attend classes in the morning up to noon in the afternoon. Okay. Then from there, you are free to do whatever you wish. Okay. You are free to maybe to work, and of course, for me, what I love doing most is painting. So I just go and lock myself in my room. I take my brush, I take my canvas, my paints, and I start actualizing my imagination. Yes.
So it is not that hard for you to balance these things because of the schedule also at school. In the morning you are in class, then in the evening you are free, you can do your things. Then at night you study.
You know, somebody once said that when you are doing what you love doing most, actually you are not working. Okay? Because it is a hobby.
Yes.
It is not only a skill, but it is also a hobby. So sometimes you can even wake up in the middle of the night. Maybe you have a certain idea, and then you want to actualize it, okay, in the middle of the night. So when I talk about the art industry, it is all about sacrifice. It is all about sleepless nights. Sometimes you even stay up the whole night because you want to finish a certain project. You see, like the way you are feeling so good when you are doing this interview, it is the same way when you feel when you are painting. You don't want to stop.
Even when I'm writing my things,
you know,
I spend the whole night just on the table enjoying those things.
Exactly.
Write poems, write mashairi, write whatever you want to write. Yeah.
So the moment you are starting a project, you don't want to stop. You just want to move on and move on again and again. So balancing your normal schedule and what you love doing most, actually, it just comes automatically.
So there is this thing I want to ask you. You will say it is out of topic, but let me try to reframe my question so that it remains inside.
No problem.
Inside our topic here.
Please.
You are a young man. You are still growing. And I expect you to grow and grow and grow and grow. You grow both in physically and in art. And your passion is growing. But also your passion might be serving people. You serve people through drawing. You serve them through maybe preaching to them or maybe doing something else for the community. Now, what should we expect of Martin?
Okay.
After your studies, maybe you are done with your studies. Martin is here. What should we expect of you?
Now, you realize that in this life, you know, most people have a certain view of life that we need to succeed. Anyway, we are born. We go to school. We are employed. We need to succeed. And success for many people is all about being rich, sorry to say. Okay?
Yes.
But after having all this wealth, the treasures, at the end of the day, what next? Okay? So at the end of the day, you realize that you have to go back to where you came from. Okay? You realize that at the end of the day, you have to die. You have to go back to your maker. So at the end of the day, in your life journey, what will you have done? Which legacy will you have done? Okay? You get? So what I can say is that what to expect, currently, actually, if you look at most of my works, my paintings, they are kind of religious, okay? I love doing saints paintings and so forth, because these are I feel so good when I'm serving people in the church and so forth. So you realize that, like I've said, my paintings are religious. So I normally do some paintings for the churches, for different congregations in the church, and so forth. So through these paintings, I feel I am serving the people, or rather I'm serving God through the people. Okay? Yes.
So in short, guys, we should expect a shepherd, a pastor, or a priest serving us in the church, preaching to us through this drawing. He'll be drawing, he comes and explains the drawings, the gospel is this, Jesus did this and this, then we see those things in the canvas. As he says, we shall be seeing them in drawings. So Martin, maybe one word to those young men, because I've just realized that in Limuru here, so many people wish to draw. I think the talent is here in this side, because the young men, the young boys and girls I talk to, you just say, I can draw you, I want to draw. Everybody is dreaming of drawing. One word or maybe a phrase or maybe some words of encouragement to these young men. What can you tell them?
Okay,
young men here in Limuru and all over these other sides.
Okay, thank you, Shamba, for that chance. Now, what I can say to people, especially the young people, is you realize that in the current society, everybody is going to school, everybody goes to school, and actually, people, if not everybody, they have degrees at home. And if not degrees, they are qualified in a certain field. So you realize that schools are all over, colleges are all over, universities are all over, but nobody is creating employment. So at the end of the day, you realize that we are getting a lot of people in the society who are qualified, but they can't work. But we forget one very important thing. Everybody of us is unique in their own way. Okay? Everybody has a talent, or rather a skill, that is different from the other. So the challenge is yours to ask yourself, what is that is so special about me? What is that Shamba has that I don't have? It is the time to rise up and utilize whatever you have, so that rather than looking for those scholar jobs. So if you have a talent in drawing, in painting, in music, you're a good singer, you're a good writer like yourself, utilize it. It doesn't matter whether you have a degree, whether you have a PhD, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you have realized that you have something unique and you ought to utilize it. And if you utilize it in the right way, actually, you are capable of succeeding in life. Yes.
Okay. So it is all about waking up and start working on what you believe you can do.
Exactly.
And to bring out your uniqueness,
yes,
at least to show the world that you can do this and this and this.
Yes, yes.
So Martin, I thank you very much. I wish to continue with this conversation. But what I can only tell people now is that we expect Martin as a priest. We expect a priest, a drawing priest. How I would wish to see you drawing Jesus every Sunday in church. Every Sunday you're just drawing Jesus, Mary, Joseph, actually, God, and you imagine of God and draw God and put him there and tell people, this is God now. Look at the picture.
Actually, when you talk of Jesus, I've shared about my story. As young as 5, I used to love doing the face of Jesus. And even right now, I can do the face of Jesus automatically. So it is something that I love doing so much. So if at all there is a painting I've done many times, it is the face of Jesus.
Okay. Martin, there is this thing I was forgetting.
Please do.
Can you please just try to mention some of the people who are, those ones who identified the talent, like your sister Pauline identified that, and he was bringing books for you to draw and draw. There are people who really identified you as an artist, and you can do it better, and they have come up with you very well, taking care of you up to this moment, and maybe you give us the contact so that people can follow you. And so you say they can give you something small, token at least.
Why not?
If they give you, I hope you'll remember me, because I'm now on business now. So you tell us those people who at least identified the talent, they nurtured it up to this moment, and now you are going to the world and to draw the world.
Okay, now, you see, like I said, the journey has been too long. So it has been a journey of over 20 years, okay? So the list is endless, okay? So the only thing I would say is that if you have a chance to help somebody, if you have a chance to nurture somebody or to mentor somebody, please make sure you do it. Because all these stories that I'm sharing, like I've said, the list is endless. I don't have to mention everybody, but maybe I can mention my siblings, my parents, and so forth, who have been so supportive to me. And some friends of mine, some classmates of mine, my seniors at school and so forth. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Maybe you tell us the context where we can find you, at least we talk to you. After this, we can follow you to see what you are doing.
So in all the social medias, I think the name is you can look for Mato Arts. Mato Arts. Mato with MARTOH_arts. Facebook, IG, and TikTok. You can get me there. Then my number is 0718 829207.
No, it is 0700520014. You send there the M-Pesa I will receive and he will draw you. So, okay, thanks very much, Martin. I thank God I met you. It has been nice to share with you, to share your life. I know you have been sharing your life with us, and I hope you continue doing the same. You share your life with people. You at least enrich people with this work of yours, art, drawing, and all will be well with you. Okay. Brothers and sisters, Martin is a young seminarian in the Congregation of the Holy Ghost Fathers. He doesn't want me to mention that, but I must mention it. He's in the seminary at Arusha at the moment doing his philosophy and